Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we got some things to talk about. I'm going to be talking about the recent dump that Bitcoin had, which brought the entire market down. Be talking about why this actually could be a good thing that we got this dump out of the way early. And I'm going to be talking about some altcoins that I personally own that are exploding right now, Atom and Algorand. But before we get into that, if at any point you enjoy this video, please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and turning on my post notifications. Really appreciate all the support I've been getting recently. I'm still a super small channel, so any amount of support goes an extremely long way. Thank you, everybody. So, first thing that I'm going to talk about is Bitcoin. Alright, so the first thing that I want to bring up is that this dip came perfectly down to the 21-week EMA and almost perfectly down to the 20-week SMA, which some people do consider as the bull market support band. We had just recently broken above these moving averages, and many people were speculating that at some point we would need to come back down and hold these moving averages as support. The fact that Bitcoin came back down this early and held support on this moving average and actually had a nice bounce off of it. We're currently sitting about 10% above the moving averages after wicking down, holding it as support. And so in my opinion, it's actually a good thing that we got this drop out of the way. Not to say that Bitcoin can't come back down and maybe look to hold it as support again in a more sustained move, but it doesn't have to. So I think it's actually a good thing that we came down, held the 21-week EMA as support. Another interesting thing about this move is if you pull a fib from the swing low of $28,000 all the way up to the swing high at 52.8 about, you can see that we had a perfect bounce off of the 0.318 level as well. And you can even make the argument that we had a double bottom here. And this is kind of interesting. If you look right here, this level was daily resistance back there. The body of the candle closed on it. We had a wick above. And then over here, was the opposite. We had the body of the candle resting as support on this line here with the wick down below, and we also had a wick down to it over here. So this is definitely an interesting line for Bitcoin to find support on. There is confluence in this area between multiple indicators showing that this was a viable area for us to find support and possibly look for a reversal off of. And zooming in a little bit, we are kind of sitting in a bit of a triangle formation here. We have found resistance on this area twice. You can kind of draw a trend line between these two bottoms here. 4 hours looking decent. You know, we got a green dot. The wave is coming over slowly, but the light blue is separating from the dark blue, which shows that we're probably not going to get a red dot here. The VWAP is moving upwards, money flow is coming up. So the 4 hour isn't looking too bad. Maybe we stay in this triangle for a bit longer and then look to break out of it to the bull side. That would be best case scenario. But Bitcoin really isn't what is interesting right now. So I've held Atom for a little while. I think that what they're doing is important. They have a nice ecosystem that they're building. And I also really like this move that Atom just had. So, talking about Atom, we did have a double bottom here. This dump brought us down to this level that we found previous support on over here. You can also see it was resistance a little bit over here on this wick. And on the daily time frame, this was a quick move. This was like probably only a few hours ago this move started. We haven't even gotten a green dot on the daily time frame yet, but it seems like we're about to. The VWAP is coming up sharply. The money flow is still curving to the downside, but if we start getting a daily reversal here, I would expect to see it continue to grow. We were seeing nice money flow growth from Atom back here. And Atom did just break swing highs of this move, put in another higher high, and it is getting super close to all-time highs that is set back in May. It's only about another 16% move away from breaking all-time highs, so that is super exciting. We did have a bearish divergence on the daily here, but we also did just have a pretty major correction followed by a V-shaped recovery if I've ever seen one. Maybe the 4-hour is a better example of that, but yeah, so maybe this daily bearish divergence already played out with this drop. What we would look for is a green dot on this momentum wave, and then for the next momentum wave to get higher than this previous one. And maybe if we're lucky, that move could bring Atom to all-time highs again. Another thing to point out is we did have a bullish divergence on the 4-hour, price staying at the same level while the momentum waves are increasing on the bottom. And we are seeing a nice increase of money flow on the 4-hour. It's not quite above this swing high for the money flow, but it is pointing sharply up. Same with the momentum wave, so if this move continues, then I expect to see the money flow continue to grow on the 4-hour. Could be looking good for Atom. And now, finally, let's talk about Algorand. Algorand at $2.30 out of nowhere, seems like. I mean, in the past 2 days, it has done almost 100% move. That's insane. Looking at the momentum wave here, we did get a red dot, but immediately following was a green dot, and I don't know if I have ever seen a momentum wave that looks like this. Let me zoom in for you here because this is the highest we have seen a momentum wave in quite a long time. Actually, let me go back here. We only saw a momentum wave this high once before, and that was back in February when Algorand was putting in swing highs of $1.80 from like 64 cents. So this momentum wave on the daily time frame is looking super bullish. If you look on the right hand side, it's at the 106 threshold measurement for the height of these momentum waves. If you look here, the white is actually still widening. It's getting farther apart from itself, showing that this move still has a little bit more to go. And the only reason that this isn't technically all-time highs for Algorand is because back when it launched at about $3.20, I guess, and then just dumped right off launch. So this back here was the only time that Algorand was above these price levels. Aside from the launch, it has basically just broken all-time highs. So you can make the argument that Algorand is in price discovery mode right now. And this daily momentum wave shows that it might want to discover some higher prices than what it's already at. Looking at the 4-hour, you can see the money absolutely pouring into Algorand. We had a nice dip down on the money flow, and then ever since then, steady climb up, and it seems like it's even moving up sharper now than it was at the beginning. And again, if you look at this green dotted line right here, that's where the money flow is at right now. The only time that we saw money flow levels at this level was again back in February when Algorand was setting new swing highs. So I would say that Algorand is looking super bullish right now, looking to probably continue this move so long as Bitcoin doesn't set any lower lows. I think that Algorand can keep on moving up. I think that we're probably going to see a reversal on Bitcoin soon. Maybe it's not immediate. There is a possibility that we start turning around here. You know, there are some bullish signs on Bitcoin, but even if we don't get moving upwards immediately, I'm still not worried. I know a lot of people are getting anxious because they think the market has to get to 100,000 by September. Could still happen, but in my opinion, that doesn't have to happen. I would actually like to see this bull run extend a bit longer, maybe December, maybe early next year, because then we can get some higher price targets. And then this growth won't feel forced. You know, it feels like we're trying to push everything up as quick as we can. I think if we just let it naturally get there, we could see some higher price targets than 100,000 and 10,000 for Ethereum. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider hitting the like and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow for my next video. Peace out, everybody.